Okay. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is the objectively correct Oregon PR player and TOs, well, and Portland TOs, and Mucho Man Stream Mods tier list. And now this tier list is special because because this is no ordinary tier list. This is a tier list of these players, these individuals, based on how well getting in a fender bender with them would turn out. Like, if I get into a fender bender, a minor car accident with one of these players, they are in the other car, how well is that going to turn out for me as a person? So, we'll start off, there are a few easy ones. There are a few easy ones here. What's up, Riley? So, first off, we have our 3 Auto S tier. Or we have our 2 Auto S tiers. We have Chainlink, and we have Fat Goku. And since these players are in S tier, because they do not have driver's licenses. So, if you get into a fender bender with them, it's all on them. They're fucked. There's nothing they can do. So that's why these players are in S tier, because it literally could not go better. These are the ideal players to get into a fender bender with, just based on the information we have available. And then the next S tier player, these are the Auto S tiers. Next S tier is Yamasaki, because Jared Yamasaki is a kind young man. He's very pleasant. He's very nice. And I have 100% complete faith that if you got into a fender bender with him, he would be, he wouldn't blame you. He wouldn't try and screw you over on the insurance. He would just be very honorable. He would be a very honorable person to get into a fender bender with. Yams would use logic. That is one of his downfalls. So that might see him bump down to A tier. But for now, Yamasaki is in S tier. And I'm just going to go from left to right here. So, saving Connor and Logan for last. So, next player, this is Christ, God's only son. He's on this tier list because he would be PR'd if he was active, and he has been PR'd before in these most recent seasons. And he's an A tier, I think, because, again, Christ would be very nice. He'd be very pleasant and kind to get into a fender bender with. But he is an adult with a wife, so he's going to get his fair share, right? He's not going to let you just walk away scot-free from a fender bender. There's going to be some penalty, but still, of the PR players, he would be very pleasant still to get into a fender bender with. Derek. Okay, so Derek or Aura would be definitely, I think, B tier. I think Derek is probably B tier for now, just because, he's very nice, he's a very pleasant young man, but, if maybe, you didn't turn your blinker on until it's too late, or, you were going too fast, or you didn't brake in time. These are all things that he would call you out on. He wouldn't let you get away with anything. But again, Derek's not gonna... He's not gonna sue you. He's not gonna make false claims about the fender bender. So right now he's at B tier. Ford Money... Okay, so Ford Money is an interesting one. Because... Okay, so Ford Money's in C tier because, again, there's going to be a theme here. There's going to be a theme with all of these players. They're all very nice individuals. But if I got into a fender bender with Ford, I would feel so bad. I would feel so insanely bad about that. It would just ruin my entire day. What's up, Yams? I mean, yeah, I think it's just the factor that I would feel really bad just because I love Ford so much. So yeah, I guess that's not enough to put him in C tier. You know, there are some actual C tiers I think they're going to be on the way. Okay, so we got Derek and Ford in B tier. We have Christ in A tier, and then the holy trio, the holy trinity of Chainlink, Fat Goku, Yams in S tier. And next is Mr. Yeehaw Daniels. This is an interesting one. I'm tempted to put him in B tier. Although I have also... The rules of the tier list are that there are no rules. The rules of the tier list are that I am the arbiter and the decider of the tier list, and what I say goes. But yeah, I think Yeehaw is interesting. I haven't thought about this one. I've thought about a lot of these players, but I've not thought about Yeehaw. Okay, but also, I don't think I've ever actually seen Yeehaw driving. I've never personally witnessed him driving a car. What's up, Haley? Yeah, so I don't know. This is a hard one. I kind of want to put him in B tier just based on my gut. Because I think, again, like, Yeehaw is a person who's going to... Yeehaw is a person who's going to, be fair. He's going to be kind. But he's going to call you out on your mistakes. He's not going to let you get away with anything. Although, also, you could argue that since Yeehaw is a Falco main, he's going to be like so he's going to be shooting the gun. He's going to be trying to Falco laser you. So like if you get in the fender bender with him, he might like, I don't know, like just shoot you DMs every day, saying like, hey, did you hear back from insurance about our accident? Can I get some compensation? But I think I don't know. I think Yeehaw would be a good person to get in the fender bender with. Definitely still pleasant. But yeah, maybe. I mean, people. You guys are saying that C tier. I don't C D F tier. I don't see that. Like, okay, yeah. So this basically S through B tier is all people that I would like to get in the fender bender with. S through B tier is all people that I think would be very, very nice and understanding and accommodating, were there to be a fender bender. And I think there's definitely one person who I know for sure is going in D tier, but I don't know about these other ones. Okay, so next on the list is Eroding Sun. Yeah, I might just put everybody in B tier, honestly. Okay. Eroding Sun is going in A tier, because he also plays Sheik, which means that he is automatically going to be making the correct decisions from beginning to end. So the fender bender will be minor, and he, of course, he'll be very pleasant afterwards. Just from beginning to end, good decision making, as you would expect from a Sheik player with scruples, with moral scruples. Okay, so next on the list, this is Mr. Person. This is one of 3 mods in this power ranking. And Mr. Person is in D tier because Mr. Person bikes. So if you get into a fender bender with Mr. Person, he might actually just die. And I think that qualifies as a D tier on this list. Anybody that might just die if you get into a fender bender with them is definitely automatically D tier. Okay, so next. So next on the list is Mukavo, one of the greatest Twitch streamers of all time. I'm gonna put Mukavo in C tier. Again, kind of like Ford, I'm putting Mukavo in C tier because I would just feel so bad if I got on a fender bender with him. Because I'm fairly certain that he actually has student loans to pay. So I would not want to interfere with that. That would be really rough. But also, I mean, like, I think the whole scenario itself, the whole fender bender, would still be pretty solid. You know, pretty solid experience. But I just wouldn't want to put that burden on Mukavo. Okay, and then next is Quist. I actually have no idea where to put Quist because I've never actually talked to him. But again, Quist is a Sheik main, so he's going in A tier. Next on the list is Stiv. Nice as hell. Okay, yeah, Quist stays there. Quist stays in A tier. Next on the list is Stiv. I don't know what to say, guys. I don't know what to say. Stiv is D tier. If you got into a fender bender with Stiv, there's no wiggle room. There is absolutely no wiggle room. Stiv would just like notice every single driving mistake you made that led up to the fender bender, and then he would just it's just over. It's over. Stiv would just, like, tell you all the ways you messed up that caused the fender bender, and things would not go well for you. And he is also a minor. And again, also, there's also the added factor that Mr. Person, Mukavo, and Fordal have, which is that Stiv is a child. So I would feel really bad about getting a fender bender with him. And yeah, yeah, Haley's, he's gonna call his mom. He's gonna get the parents involved. Mama and Papa Stiv are gonna be on the case. Okay, so next we have Mustache Massacre. Oh yeah, definitely follow up punish after fender bender would be brutal, easily. Yeah, they would not go well for you. And next on the list is a Mustache Massacre. I'm going between C and B. Let's do C. Because this is a factor that we haven't talked about before. This is the factor we have not talked about yet. But I feel like if I were to get in a fender bender with Tristan, with Mr. Mustache Massacre, that fender bender might actually cause more damage than the other fender benders on this list. Because I don't know if you have watched Mustache play the game of Melee. He's very cavalier, very aggressive, very pedal to the metal. And those are all attributes that do not make for a good fender bender. Those are all attributes that make for a bad fender bender where your card gets actually damaged. So, you know, even though I'm a big fan of Tristan, I'm a big fan of the Mr. Mustache Man. I'm a big fan of his performances, of his work. He's still going to go in C tier. Just because I feel like your car might get damaged more than in these other fender bender situations. And next, again, we have someone that doesn't drive. We have Cat Named V. And I feel like this one, I don't know. This is a hard one. Because I feel like originally I was thinking about doing this list as like a matchup chart, you know, like 90-10, 80-20, 70-30, 60-40, and so on. And I was going to put V. That's a good idea. I might do that. So, I was going to put V at 50-50 in the actual like matchup ratio version of the chart, because I feel like V is a wild card. I have no idea how that would go. I have absolutely no idea. Like, I feel like you're either going to feel the wrath of God, or it's just going to be a very pleasant and wholesome experience where both sides walk away having learned something. So, for that reason, I'm going to put V at the bottom of B tier, because there's just that added layer of uncertainty. And, like, for example, you know, if you got in a fender bender with her, then she just disqualifies you from all future events that she runs. Like, maybe if you get a fender bender, like, you don't get to go to the garage monthly. I just don't know. It feels like a hard 50-50. Because I feel like, also though, I feel like if I would, in terms of people on this list that would be top tier to, like, talk about and remember the fender bender with, you know, years down the line, V is very top tier. Because I feel like I would have a great time talking about that one time where we got a fender bender with each other. I feel it could be a grand old time. So now, alright, so now we're in the final stretch. We have Sheikh Zula, and we have Contra. You may know this man, this Contra fella, from his performances at Smash Summit 13. You may recognize him from that. You know, you might be aware of him. And you might be aware of Mr. Sheikh Zula for being an amazing TO, and also, I think set the record along with Shatna for most matches ran, like most matches played at a tournament, back at a Don't Park on the Grass, where they ran like the ladder system. So these two individuals have a very distinguished resume. There's very distinguished resumes on both these individuals. And Logan, Sheikh Zula, also doesn't drive. So that's definitely a factor here. And he is very, very nice, very pleasant young man. Logan S. I'm down for Logan S. I'm down for Logan in S tier. Actually, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I feel like, you know, after the fender bender, you know, you would just, like, whoever has the functional car that doesn't need to get, like, towed away or, like, doesn't need to go to the shop, you would just, you know, go back to one of your places and just, like, you know, play Zelda Dittos. Play Zelda Dittos and maybe indulge in some things. In some herbery. Yeah, and also, yeah, Logan doesn't have a car. That is an astute observation, Yams. So that alone, like, oh my god, imagine getting in a fender bender with Logan, but he's not in a car. He's just walking around, and you just make him make him use 2 canes. You tear both menisci. But I think Logan, I agree with Logan S tier. Oh god. Oh god. Oh jeez. Oh god. Oh god. Oh jeez. What do we have? Was that it? What? I messed this up somehow. I don't remember the original order. Okay. Okay. And you will notice at this point that my logic for all of these picks is not consistent. It's not consistent at all. There's a lot of wiggle room going on here. A lot of inconsistent logic, but that's okay. That's fine. That's totally all right. Okay, so finally, we have Mr. Connor Contra Kelly. My gut tells me C tier. My gut tells me C tier, because if things go badly, like if you're the one that made the mistake, there is a chance you are just DQ'd from many Melee tournaments because you're a menace to society. And I feel like also Connor might well actually you. And yeah, you either get like underseated forever or you just be banned. There's no in between. So I guess we're gonna have Connor at bottom of the C tier. You know, he's not morally reprehensible. He's not gonna be a bad fender bender partner. But things could go very badly. There's some ramifications. That could come from getting a fender bender with basically C tier and below. So yeah, that's the objectively correct tier list of Oregon PR players, my mods, and our Portland TOs. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope we all learned a lot. I hope we all learned something about human nature. I hope you came away from this with a deeper understanding of yourself and of tier lists and of the Oregon PR. And yeah, that's gonna do it. Yeah, chain link number 1, as always.